So before we go into it, the session today is just really build a modern website. So we're going to show you how to build a website from start to finish, and Paul's going to take you through all of those steps. But just some introductions. So I'm Jack. I'm just a consultant with Systock as part of the training team. I'm just taking you through the start of this session, the introduction really. And Paul, over to you.
Yes, I'm Paul Graham, and I do technology stuff. But really, what I do is I just try and like take the edges off stuff and make it accessible, so that everybody can use it. Because all this technology that we use today, it is only for communication purposes, really. And I don't want to get bogged down in code or silly things around details. Who wants details, right? And so that's what I do. But yeah, it's great that you're all here. Thank you very much for joining. And today's session is going to be absolutely fab, although it's very, very risky because we've got lots of accounts to make and stuff. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
That being said, I'll try and keep it very quick then, so you've got any time for contingencies in there. But today's session is brought to you by Systock. So we're a management consultancy company, and we're really focusing here on using Microsoft 365 Canvas Power Apps to try and solve issues. So it's a service offering that we do have from Systock. We try to invest in your most precious resource, which of course is your people, right? And we always want to try and use these power apps to really enable people to solve their own organizational problems by helping them use their own understanding of their department's unique challenges, and then bringing that information and skills that we've taught them to solve those issues. So Systock will always try and leave a really lasting legacy, unleashing your people's potential just by different engaging learning interventions, making sure they do have those skills to really continuously improve and create their own solutions. So some of the key things that we do at Systock, within Power Apps, we have the potential to focus on organizations that need to digitize to comply with regulations, organizations that need to go digital to keep up with the competition, organizations that really need systems to support their employees. And we really try to accommodate and observe new ways of working and build that into how people operate. And we also look to then see how we can make sure that we can be adaptable to the needs of concerns for different departments within an organization as well as individuals. And we've also got loads more information on our homepage. So if you do want to find out some more, feel free just to type in the link on there and we'll put it into the chat after as well. So a big question for you of why we should care about websites. And we'll answer this with another question as well. So why would Samuel Pavis get every job he applied for if he was alive today?
Jack, it's Peeps. I know
Peeps.
yeah, it's fine, but it looks like it's an unusual name, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
very popular in the 17th century.
Peeps,
Yes.
there you go. Cool.
Yeah.
So, but he lived over 300 years ago and wrote about two of the most important events in English history. So we had the Great Plague of 1665, where thousands of people were killed in the capital city of London, and also the Great Fire of London. So Samuel's diary tells us about the ordinary things like going to the coffee house or what he ate for dinner, but he also wrote about a lot of the achievements he had and also the failings. And really, if he was alive today, I think the best place for that to be would be on a website. It's a great place to store all of your information about yourself, the things you really like, the things you don't like, your achievements, and also your failures and help to improve. And it can really be seen as a way to build your own portfolio online. So you can share that with other organizations, potential customers, and also potential employers. So that being said, we're going to go on to what we're going to cover today and how to build a website. So we'll look at three key areas. Firstly, we're going to look at how to create a GitHub account. So we have a place to store all of our website files. So a really essential part to make sure we've got that back data behind it. We'll then look at how we use another web service called Netlify to turn those files into a website and start to put it into action. And then finally, we'll look at Forestry so that we can actually edit the site and see it in all its glory there. And then finally, once we've put those together, we're going to look at how we can make a logo for our site, create our first post using Markdown syntax. And then finally, we'll add another web service that allows you to understand what people are doing on your own site. And just before I hand over to Paul, I'll quickly give you a preview of what this site could look like. And then Paul's going to take you through how to actually get to that stage as well. I'll just stop presenting and then I'll share my screen. Can everyone see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is what the website will look like at the end. And if everything goes right, we'll be able to create something similar to this, where we've got all the different parts of a website entailed into one, and we'll break that down further as we go through this session. So I'll pass it over to you now, Paul, and good luck.
Thanks, Jack. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start from the very beginning, like my mum used to say, because the very beginning is a very good place to start. That's right, right? It is. It's right. Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so no safety net. What we're going to do is we're going to start from Google Chrome as if we're starting totally from scratch. Now, this session, it's recorded, and the purpose for that is because we're going to put it onto our YouTube site, and this will have this has already been written. We've got a blog which goes alongside of this, so that you don't have to make notes now if you don't want to, and so you can view this back and then you can make your own website. However, always know, right, that think of me as your technology friend. If you've got any questions at all, just give me a shout. You can get me through LinkedIn, or you can get me here at Systock. The people who know me from LinkedIn, I'm always on LinkedIn, so that's probably the easiest way of getting me. Okay, so here we go. So first things first, what we're going to do is we are going to create what's called a GitHub account. Now, I don't want to get bogged down in like what things are today, but just as Jack was saying, what GitHub is, it's a place where we can store things. So if you think of that as the store for the website, then that's a really good place to start. Okay, and also if you have any questions as we go, just shout them out, please. Just ask. Okay, so on here, we can see I've actually got an account already set up on here. This is mine. What we're going to do is we're going to create a whole new one. So I'm going to come into here and I'm going to set up a new profile for Chrome. So in here, and this is a really good feature actually of Chrome and Edge web browsers, is I can say I want a whole different account and I want a different environment. So we're going to call this website demo, and let's have a nice color. That's a nice orange, right, Jack? It is. It is. Cool. So we've got this new browser window, and this is totally clean. This is as if we've started a web browser from scratch. There's there's no information in here. There's no internet tracking. There's no cookies or all those kind of things that we get. It's totally blank. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to GitHub, and this is our store. Oh, look, I've even got this kind of thing popping up saying, yeah, I agree. You can have my soul, Google, as long as I get through this demo.
For some reason, I'm not seeing the screen. Is it just me?
Oh no!
I can see.
Can everybody else see?
Yeah.
I tell you what, Ellie, I'll come off and I'll reshare. Let's see if that'll make any difference.
Okay.
I'll include sound as well. There we go. Any better?
No.
There might be
It's
a
just
quirk.
your little profile, blank black screen. Weird.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh,
What do I
well,
do on my end? Anything?
I don't think so. I think probably if you listen to maybe just the video on my audio,
Okay.
and then I will share the video with you, because
Okay, no worries.
for
Thank
the stuff that you do, having a website would be brill, right? It would be ever so cool.
Right. Thank you.
So on here, we're going to go into GitHub, and then we've got here saying, where the world builds software, but we're going to sign up for an account. So I'm going to use here one of my old email accounts, Oda Beneday, PTG, because that's my initials. And then we're going to go into here, and we're going to say sign up. Okay. So then it's going to take me through the sign up process. Welcome to GitHub, and it's going to say, is that your email? Yes, it is. Oda Beneday, if anybody knows what that is, the Latin name for, what is the Latin name for anybody?
For what?
It's the Latin name for sea lions. Yeah, how interesting. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's amazed by that amazing fact. So the other thing I use a lot is DynoPass for generating passwords. Ever so useful. So you can create a strong password using DynoPass. It's brilliant. So we're going to have that as our password. I'm going to pop that into there. It's going to say it's strong. And before I forget, what I'm going to do is I will put our account details into a notepad, because we're going to use them as we go along. So let's have a notepad, and I'm going to call this website passwords. I will delete this later on, because you should never put passwords into a text file, of course. And I would never do that if anybody from internal IT is watching. Oh no. So there we go. So I've got that in there. Let's give that a little save with being a notepad, and I'm going to say, yeah, continue. And it says to have a username. So I'm going to call this PTG website demo, and then we'll have a hyphen and we'll say sysdoc on the end of that as well. Okay, good. And down here it says that's available. So I'm going to say, yeah, great, continue. Do I want any product announcements? No, because it's only for test purposes. And then we've got a puzzle to solve. So which one of these is a spiral galaxy? Oh, it's that one there. Okay, which one? That one there is a spiral galaxy. And there we go. All good. Now, what we need now is, I need to find my phone because it's going to now send us a code, I guess. I've done this a few times in the last few days. So it should work. And so now I'm just going to pop into here what the code is. Bear with me, everybody. Don't worry for me, by the way. There's not really a bear with me. It's only an expression. I am so funny.
We were all laughing. We're just on mute.
Yeah, that's right. You're laughing on the inside. And so it says it's asking me like how many's going to be working with you. It's just going to be me for this example. I'm a student or a teacher. I'm a student of life. And then, oh, we've got somebody in the lobby if anybody can get that. And then on here, I'm just going to say continue. And then in here, it's saying, hey, you know, there's two different types of account. We're going to see that a lot as we go through the services today. There's always like free forever plans, which is what we're using today, by the way. We're not going to pay any money or put any credit card details on any of the services that we do today. So on here, look, we're going to say really what we want is to continue for free. Okay, and then we get this nice little space graphic, and then boom. Okay, we've done one of the harder bits. We've created a storage area within GitHub. Now, does anybody have any questions about that before we go to the next bit? No? No. Okay, good. Now then, I'll come off share. I'll do this quite a lot just so I can see people. Now, when we have a website, okay, you know, what are the most important things? And the kind of the most important things are like the design of it, isn't it? It's like, you know, what colors we're using, what kind of things you can do on there. Today's example, it's just going to be a very, very simple site. Okay, it's going to be something where we can do a bit of blogging, a bit of like self-promotion, show people the kind of stuff that we can do, but you can make a site more complicated. Okay, and we are going to change some of the branding on it, but I just want to show you some of the things we can do. So back to screen share. In here, we're going to be using some themes, and all themes are like different color schemes and like different kind of like templates for different types of website. And the themes we're going to be using is something called Hugo, a bit like Hugo Boss, the fashion person. Okay, so if I go into Hugo here, from a new tab, it should come up. Well, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do then. I'll just type in here, which I should have done. I'll just type in Hugo themes, like so. There we go. So here I've got this quick start Hugo, and if I click on themes, look, then these are all themes that I could use with my website. The same kind of thing that we're going to do today. So look, I mean, that's a nice one there. Doxy, that looks lovely. Oh, there's this one down here. Look, beautiful Hugo, or hello friend. Anyway, there's like, honestly, there's like gazillions of them, which is a lot, right? There's loads and loads and loads of them. Yeah. And that's all. That's that's all I really want you to be aware of. You know, you can even there's a nice one for you there, Ellie, is a creative portfolio one. You know, there's lots of different types. Okay. The one we're going to use today, though, is a one that's already on GitHub, and I'm just doing this for speed, really. You know, but if you want to, if you ever want any help with this, just give me a shout. So in here, we're going to be using one called Hugo Novello. So in here, I'm going to type in Hugo, and then I'm going to go to, just make sure I've got this, spell this correctly, Hugo Novella, and I'm going to say, yes, search GitHub. And what it does is it says, oh, what we've got is we've got 999 repository results. Okay, now please don't worry about this too much. If you think about it, what I'm doing is I'm searching for somebody else's files, yeah, who's actually created these website files, and then I'm going to copy them. So if I click into this one here, this is the one we want. If I come into here, then I can see that this particular one, it says Hugo Novella theme, and then if I scroll down, look, it's got a bunch of like information about the theme. So this is what it's going to look like, which looks a lot like that particular site that Jack demoed earlier on. The workers changing one, because it's all based on the same theme. And then it's got a series of instructions. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to come under here and I'm going to say fork. Now in the world of Github, right? Forking just means copy. So I'm going to say I want to copy that particular repository, which is just like a folder. I want to copy that to my account on GitHub. Does that make sense? Yeah? All yes? No questions? I see if that was me, I would have a boatload of questions at that point. Nobody got any questions? No? Okay, cool. Right, so what I'm going to do now, can everybody see my screen? Yeah?
Nope.
Nope.
You can, yes?
Nope.
No.
You can't? Oh dear. Can't believe And so on here, I'm going to say, right, I'm going to say create fork. And so there we go. And it says here, it's forking the Forestry IO Hugo theme. And then here we go. So within this, what I've done is I've copied it. And you can see now it says PTG website demo sysdoc Hugo theme novella. Okay. And we've now got a copy of that particular website structure within my GitHub storage. Does that all make sense? Does
Yes.
it? It does. Okay, good. Andrew, Jane, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, perfect sense, Paul.
Oh,
Looks good so far.
Thank
for the
you.
minute,
Because
as always.
oh, cheers, man. Because I don't want to go too quick. So what we're going to do is, if I come up, I can see on here. Look, we have things like here. We have an example site, and so what I need to do is, first of all, I need to copy that example site from that particular folder and put it into the opening bit of Hugo novella. Now this is one of the more tricky bits, and to do that, what I'll do is I download a tool called GitHub Desktop, right? So I've already downloaded this. It's small, doesn't take very long. But what I do is I come into here and I join this to my GitHub repository. So in here, I'm going to click in, say, yep, sign in using the browser, and it should use this. And it's saying, hey, yeah, do you want to authorize the desktop? I'm going, yes, I do. And so then what it's going to do, it's going to come into here and it's going to authorize it. And hopefully we should see, there we do, we see Hugo theme novella. And so then I can say, hopefully, explore in browser. And we can see on here, we've got our GitHub demo. And then we've got this particular theme. Let me just see if that's actually working. Not convinced it is, but let's just see if it is. So if I say on here, open an Explorer, and I'm going to go and get that. And I'm going to try and commit that now back. So if I say, oops, I'll tell you what I haven't done. That's an old one. 1 second, bear with me. I was saying, oh, it's not without risk. So let's just do this. We're going to say clone repository. Here we go. We're going to put in the URL of our particular theme on here, look, which is this here, this GitHub PGT website demo sysdoc. So I'm going to go and get all of that. And again, you can watch this back on the video. Okay. And then on here, I'm going to say what we need to do is we're going to put this into a folder called demo. Okay. And then I'm going to say clone. Now it should do it. There we go. Look, it's pulling those objects down to my particular desktop. Awesome. Okay. And so now in here, we should see it with a bit of luck, Jack. If I say open an Explorer, yay! Okay, good. So here's my example site.
Sorry, Paul, can you hear me?
I can, mate. Yes.
All I can see is Dave Brown, which is a stunning view, but it's not what I'd expected to see.
Well, how weird's that?
You're lucky, Harry.
Ellie was having a similar problem. Let me try again to share. How is that? Is that any better?
I can see your screen now, but I've lost Dave. I don't know which is better.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Dave's great. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to copy these, the content and the config. This is the worst bit of it. It gets easier after this. So I'm just going to say, right, I want to copy them, and I'm going to pop them at the top of here, and I'm going to say paste, and then it's going to say, I'm going to say, yeah, replace the content files on there. And then this shows me the changes I've just made. So I'm going to say here, I'm just going to say I've moved the example folder. And then I'm going to say commit to master. And what this is doing now, this is pushing that back to our GitHub storage. Okay. Okay, so if I click onto here now, with a bit of luck, we should see a content folder. Oh, I don't see a content folder, Jack. Let's just try that again. Push origin. Oh, we do. Whew. Hey, I tell you what, that was a heart-stopping moment for me, that. Honestly, gang, that was scary. So in here now, look, you see we've got content, right? And it says here, moved example folder, takes the information that we've just had. And so we're set. We're ready now to proceed to the next stage, okay? So let me just come off share, because just want to explain what we've just done there, just again, just to set the scene. We've created a GitHub account. We've copied some website, like structured data. We've then done another copy so that we can actually, have some content in our demo site. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use something called Netlify. Now, has anybody heard of Netlify before?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Oh, good. Excellent. What have you heard about Netlify?
Just, I was looking at website options and
Oh,
it popped
God,
up.
you are so.
This is very timely for me,
Wow, Ellie, you are so informed. This is incredible.
Didn't you
I mean,
touch on Netlify a couple of weeks ago as well?
I did, but in a really bad way, which is why we're doing this. Because I absolutely galloped through it, Harry, like massively, and then like the feedback came back, and people were going, I haven't got a clue what you were doing there. That was really weird. Anyway, so that's why. So yeah. So what Netlify is like it's something that takes our GitHub files and it converts them into a fully fledged website. That's what it does. There's a load of magic going on when it does it, okay? And it just transforms it. And that's what we're going to do right now. Okay. Any questions? No? Okie dokie. So in here, I'm just going to close some of these things down because we don't need them anymore. And it doesn't take a lot to confuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in Netlify. Okay, now I'll do that. The first thing that comes back is netlify.com. Okay, and what this lets you do is you can make apps through it. You can make all sorts of things, but we're going to do a website. And again, this is free. So if I click on Netlify, I'm going to say, yep, I want to log in. And I want to log in with my GitHub account. So I'm doing this with one account. And then I'm going to say, yeah, I want to authorize Netlify. So we're authorizing it like so. And then on here, I'm going to say, what am I? I'm just using this for personal use. I'm a hobby developer. My first project will be a marketing. Oh, actually, no, it won't be. It'll be a personal portfolio site. Name your team. We're just going to call this website demo. And then I'm going to say set up and continue. And then from here, it's saying, what do you want to do with your first project? And I'm going to say, well, I want to deploy this from GitHub. So I'm going to import it from GitHub. Again, this has been videoed, so you can watch this back. So it's saying here, Netlify wants permission to GitHub, and I'm going to say, yeah, of course you can do that. That's absolutely fine. Now I get this authorized message, and then it's saying, now which which bits of your particular GitHub do you want to authorize? I'm going to say, hey, you can see all of it. If it's you, though, you might want to only kind of let them see a little bit of it. So I'm going to say install. And then on here, look, it's seeing that copied Hugo theme novella that we've just copied from another area on GitHub to my area on GitHub. Okay, so I'm going to give that a click. And then it goes, okay, right, I can see master. So I'm now going to say deploy site. Now, hopefully I'm getting this across that this kind of stuff super quick. You know, this is all happening in real time. Okay. And so this site that's creating for us is called Quiet Quokka. And then it's got a bunch of like numbers on the end of it. And what you can do is you can associate your domain with this. So like, you know, I know, you know, like for example, Dave's got his own domain. He could then, you know, port that domain name across and, you know, make this that domain, because like anything that you've actually bought a domain name for in the past, you can use it with this. Or if you want to create a new domain, you can get a domain for about, well, I think some places offer them for free even. But if you want to, you know, that workers changing domain that you've just seen, that we've got a website like that, that costs £1.20. So they are relatively cheap. That's £1.20 for a year, you know. Okay. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay, I'm just going to give that a little click and see, this is what we've got. So look, if I come into here now and I give that a click, then this is the site we've just made. And if I pop this into the chat, like so, okay, then you can all actually go to that site now. It's fully live. You can see it on the internet. How cool is that? It's good, isn't it?
I wish I could see. I don't know whether it's something on my end.
Oh, I think
I
it probably, yeah.
And it says either turn off or turn on incoming video, and it's turned on. So I don't know, but I'll have a lot of questions once I get your link and actually
Cool.
go through it. I'm sure I will. So
Thanks,
be
Ellie.
prepared.
Thank you. So,
Paul, this looks great, mate. Quick question. I see there's
yes,
an
Dom.
upgrade option on that site. So you're using the free version.
I'm using all the free plans, mate. So
what's the limitations? What is it?
that's
Watermarked?
good.
Or?
You are a man of details, aren't you? You always are.
I don't know if that's
So,
good or bad, but go on.
so down here, look, if I say upgrade, currently I am on the open source plan, or the entry level plan, and this lets me have unlimited websites, so I can host unlimited websites. But I've got a data limit. Actually, when we come onto this, let me just see. Here we go. That's what I'm on at the moment. So I've got a 100 gig bandwidth option, and I've got 300 build minutes a month. That's what I've got currently, which is still like an awful lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Plenty.
pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
and it's free, and it's
Really,
not asking me
really
for.
good.
It's excellent. It's not asking me for any credit card details. You know, so which
Well,
is
yeah.
awesome, because some of them do. They're quite bad like that, and then if you go over, they start billing you. You know, so that's what it does. And so, you know, that's great. But what we want to do is we want to be able to edit this, don't we? And, you know, we could edit it by going into the code on here, right? So if I went into, we won't be doing this, by the way, this is just an example. If I went into here and looked at the posts, then these are the posts which are actually on our site, look. So if I come down, look, Markdown syntax guide. This is a post. It looks really nice. It's all about Markdown. And what we could do is we could edit these inside of an editor. I could click on emoji support, for example. And I could click on the little pencil, and then we could like edit that. But it's a bit techie, don't you think? Yeah, it is, Paul. It's a bit techie. It is a bit techie. So what we're going to do is we're going to install an editor for our website. Okay, and this is Forestry. So Forestry is like and in the business of website development, they call them content management systems, CMSs. Yeah. But what we're going to do, you know, we're just going to do some editing and do some new posts. So in here, I'm going to type in Forestry. I see Nottingham Forest one last night. It just popped up there. It's exciting, isn't it? And yeah, you can have my location. And this is Forestry.io. And so here it says this is a Git-based CMS content management system for Hugo. So we're going to give that a little click like so. And then look, I'm going to say sign. I'm going to say login, right? And then guess what? Look, I can use my GitHub account again to sign into this. I'm going to authorize Forestry. How good is that? What kind of work am I going to be doing? Other. How do you plan to use it? Oh, I'm a hobby personal website kind of person, and I'm going to be using Hugo, and I'm going to say complete registration. Boop. Okay. And then I'm going to say add site, add Hugo, and then down here, this is just like the latest version. You don't have to change that. I'm going to say next, and then I'm going to say now. What's saying here is what's your Git provider, but really what it's saying to me is, where is your website stored? Where's the files? So I'm going to say, hey, they're on GitHub. And I'm going to click on next. And again, look, it's saying wants more permissions. I'm going to say, yep, authorize that. So what we're doing here is we're connecting 3 services. And you see here, look, it's found that site, Hugo Theme Novella. And then we're saying next. And then it's going to let us look at the CMS for the particular site. So on here, look, I'm going to say, yeah, mark that as done, just for speed. Mark this as done. It's a complete setup. And then there we have it. Like this is our site. You see, we can see our blogs. We can see our home screen, our search engine optimization. We can see our authors. We can look at the config. We can look at some more of the settings. We can see where our media repository is. Look, if I give that a click, like so, then we can see that we can see where the media is located, and so on. Actually, I'll tell you what, I think that is in the wrong place. So it's in static uploads. But anyway, for demo purposes, it'll be absolutely fine.
And this is all instead of just the scary code.
It is, Danny. It's all just in case, just instead of that. That's right. Okay. So what we'll do now is we are going to do our first ever blog post, okay, on this. So I'm just going to say share, and then we're going to use another one of my services, which I really enjoy using, which is something called Hyperwrite. Anybody used Hyperwrite?
No.
Anybody heard of Hyperwrite? So this is an artificial intelligence blog writer. This is honestly, you'll love this. Harry, you'll love it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Does it mean I'll be able to put my quill and ink back away in the drawer?
It does, mate. It does. It means you just don't have to think too much about stuff. You can just get it to write for you. Can I get this to sign in as me? Sign in with Google. Oh, I know why. Okay, so let's just sign in as Google. paul.thomas.graham, because that's my full name at gmail.com.
Whilst we're doing that, can we have your date of birth and your mum's maiden name?
But of course, well, you know all these already. That's how we became friends. Oh,
I've got
sorry.
a painting here I need to show you, Doubting Thomas. I do.
So into here, look, I want to say, I'll just leave it as it is. So this is Hyperwrite, okay? Now, what this lets us do, we can actually assign it to different things. Like LinkedIn, you can even use it with LinkedIn. How cool. So on here, I'm going to click on documents, and this is only for demo purposes. We're going to say new document, right? And I'm going to ask it to, oh, I'll tell you what, to make an audience participation. Somebody shout something out that we wanted to write about.
Bananas.
Bananas, brilliant. Okay, and what else? And anything else?
Fashionable bananas.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fun. Oh, you're the best.
And the food
Fashionable.
shortage.
Oh yeah, fashionable bananas. Food shortage. You bring this down to reality there, Danny.
Oh,
And then I'm going to say, write for me. And so now what it does is it comes up like this. But look at this. Look, banana is a food that I hold dear and dear to my heart. I love the way they taste. Anyway, fashionable bananas. The food shortage has made people very hungry. Isn't it cool? Anyway,
It's amazing.
so what we're going
what
to...
about plagiarism in this?
Oh, don't worry. The thing is, the computer's writing it, so don't worry about it.
But what if someone used it? Isn't it pull in stuff that other people have done? I don't
No,
know.
it's actually using like a full like artificial intelligence to like, and the more detail you give it in here, then it'll use the algorithm to write it.
Oh.
I know it's mint. It's not actually like pulling articles. It's actually doing it all by its own.
Off the top. It's like
Off-
John Sessions.
It's like it is. It's like a. You're right, mate. It's like a digital John Sessions. It's like whose line is it anywhere? But for like artificial intelligences.
You say it's an artificial intelligence, but it seems far more real than some of the intelligence on LinkedIn.
Well, that's myself included, Harry. Definitely. So
Oh.
on here, right, we're going to say let's do a new post. Okay, so into here we go, and then we're going to say give it a title. So we'll call this bananas are in fashion due to shortages. Okay.
Awesome.
I could definitely have made a writer, I think. Anyway, so there we go. And then we're going to paste in our text. Yeah, like so. Yeah. And as I was saying about using a markup language, or was it Markdown language? I forgot what it is. Markup, Markdown. Okay. Markdown stuff. Actually, there's a Markdown syntax on here on the actual site, on the site we've just made. You can see here it's saying how you do it is this is an H1, this is an H2. If I go to Markdown cheat sheet on the internet here, look, there's a Markdown guide, and this is kind of telling us how to do it. So a heading, okay, heading 1 is hash heading 1. Heading 3 is 3 hashes. Does that make sense? If you want to do bold text, you do 2 asterisks either side of it. Yeah? Make sense? Sensible?
Yep.
Yes.
Look at that, look at that. Oh, fashionable bananas just went really big. And then you see I could make food storage bold. Like
I'm
that.
convinced that half of the clickbait articles that come up on my phone have been written by this AI thing.
Oh,
Because a lot of them don't make
definitely they
sense.
are. No, that's right. I mean, you know, and that can do a publish date as well. So I can say, oh, I want to be published from today. If I set this in the future, then it won't actually, you know, it won't make them appear. So I'm just doing it as now. So then into here, I'm going to go to Unsplash, and I'm going to go and get a picture of a banana, like so. Banana. And then it's got a nice picture of a banana. That's nice, right? That's really cool. Actually, I don't want as big as that though. I don't want a big banana. Let's have a small image of a banana. Great. Okay, so now what I want to do is, oh, honestly, Dom, you probably know that black bar. I absolutely despise it. I wish it would. Teams have spent millions on improving Teams, but they've still got the black bar. What's that all about?
Yeah, I do the pin and then unpin, which seems to get rid of it.
I know, but we shouldn't have to, mate.
Oh,
Though,
well,
should we?
I know. I realise. Yeah.
We just shouldn't have to. Okay, look, there's our picture of a banana. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I don't want to do the drafts. I just want to do it for real. And I'm going to publish it. And there's our first article done. How cool is that? It's great, right? It'll take a few minutes for it to come in. But then we'll have our banana article with a bit of luck. Okay, so we're waiting for that to happen, right? Let's move on to looking at the graphics. Now, all these graphics here, this is an SVG graphic. You can change all of these, okay? It's really straightforward and easy to do that. And inside of our theme on GitHub, there is full instructions on how to do it. There's a number of SVG image resources available on the internet. And all this is really telling you to do is all it's saying is replace that logo.html with an SVG graphic. Now, there's a fantastic SVG editor online called SVG Online Editor, which looks like this. Let me find it. Where is it? Where is it? That's it. And this is what it does, and it's totally free. And so what you can do is you can design your logo in this, right? So you can say, oh, what we want to do is we want to clear that. Okay, and then we want to, you know, do a logo. I won't do it because we are running out of time. I do want to show you the analytics bit, but again, it's just to show you can do this quite easily within here. You can set your width up, for example. You can set your height. Look at that. That's already looking a bit logo-ish, isn't it, really? And then inside of here, you can, pop your text. So we would say something like bananas are cool. God, I could have been a writer, Dom. That's a joke, by the way. Okay, and then you can like color it, and you get the idea. You don't need me to show you this, do you really? But you get the idea. And then this would be your logo, right? And if I was to highlight all of that, I can say permanent marker. Look at that. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Oh, let's just do it now. I've come so far. Let's just do it, Paul. Oh, okay. Let's just do it.
That looks banana-y.
It looks good, doesn't it? And so I can save it, look, and then I can download it. I want to say download as an SVG. And then in here, if I say show in folder and give that a double click, look, I've got me nice logo. Banana are cool. Should say bananas are cool. Bananas are banana. Oh, actually, it looks even better with the Z, Dom. Let me just save that again. Let's do that. Download it. Save as a SVG.
Paul, I didn't want to interrupt because you're recording, but I have to leave, my friend. So if you're talking to me and I don't respond, it's because I'm gone.
Okay, cheers, mate.
Yeah,
Take
bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye. Bye, Dom. And so we've got that logo now, and all we would have to do is we could just copy it and then just put it onto the site. That's all that would be required. Okay, let's move on to the analytics. Okay, so one of the good things about our website that we're creating is we can actually now get a full picture of how it's being used. Okay, so inside of here, where's our, oh, there we are, look, bananas in fashion due to shortages. If I give that a click, then we have our article on here now. The picture hasn't come through, but we can go back and sort that out. So inside of here, what we can do is we can actually see how people are using our website. And there's a fantastic service for this, and it's called Hotjar. So if I go to Hotjar like this, I can see down here, look, website heat maps behavior analytics tool. And if I give that a click, then what it'll do is it'll bring up this website. And again, I can say I want to sign in like so. And when I sign in, I'm going to say sign in with Google. And then it's going to ask me what's my organization name. I'm just going to say this is a demo website demo. Organization size, I'm going to say it's 1 to 10. That might not bother me as much if I say that. And I want to say my roles other. No, I don't want to receive any tips. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's log in. And it's going to say, where do you want to install your Hotjar? So this site here has got this address. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to say, this is where we want to actually add Hotjar to. So we're going to say continue. And then it's going to look for the site like this. And then it's going to prepare the tracking code. And then what we can do is we can add our code manually. Okay, so it says on here, paste the Hotjar code into every page you wish to track users. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy that. And we're going to go back to our website code over here within Github. Okay, and I'm going to do a search now on here. So I'm going to say go to file. And what we want to see is where the header's located. So look on here, look, we've actually got a file called header, and that's where we're going to pop this code. So if I click into there, right, I can now edit this, and then we can put our tracking code into the site. Just give that a refresh because it hasn't displayed correctly in my browser. I'll say cancel changes, we'll do it again. There goes somebody's phone. Well, that isn't quite coming through correctly. Preview, I'll tell you what, preview changes and then back to edit file. There we go. Okay, so inside of here, look, we can see lots of different sections. And so all we need to do is pop it into the header section. So where this starts and finishes, if I go paste inside of the script area, then that should be absolutely fine. I think it goes there. Anyway, let's try that. So I'm going to say commit changes. And so that's now added to our site. If I go back to Hotjar, I can then try and verify the installation. And it pops it up. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to go and find it. So what I'll do is I'll switch on to our other site just to demo this. Let's just see if it does it. Normally it's a bit quicker than that. There we are, look. It's verified. And now what we've got is we've got all this fantastic information that we can look on our site. So we can look at recordings of people visiting the site. We can look at heat maps. We can look at feedback. So if anybody wants to go to the site now and just like scroll it about a bit, then they'll start appearing as recordings on here. So if we go to recordings, it says recordings are on the way. We can look at heat maps. We can set up feedback. Okay, so let's actually set the feedback up. So if we look at our website now, then on here, you can see we've got nothing for feedback. But if I come onto here and say, right, what I want to do is I want to create a widget on our site. So this is all happening from Hotjar. And we're going to change the color of this a little bit. Oh, I'm sure you can change the color. Anyway, we'll just leave it red. We'll go dark. Let's see if we can do. Yeah, okay, make it a darker color. And then we can say where it's going to appear. So we'll have it middle right, and then we can change the reactions. Look, so people can actually rate it out of 5. We can use emojis if we pay a bit more. But if we're happy just to go with the free plan, we can use Hotjar buddies. Okay. And so then we can just go through this, as say steps. That's absolutely fine. Targeting. We want it on desktop, tablet, and mobile. And then we say, yeah, forward feedback. We're happy with it just being on the site at the moment. And then down here, yep, that's absolutely fine. So it says here, add targeting settings or targeting of missed off. So I'm going to say all pages, but I could just set it to be a specific page. And then down here, I'm going to say start feedback. Whoop. Okay, now we go. And so now on our website, if I give that a refresh, we should get quite soonish a little tab appearing on that right hand side. Any second now. Any moment. Go on, you can do it, computer. Computers love me, you know.
I've got a question if I can, Paul.
You can ask me anything.
I've got the website up on a different screen, but your banana picture's not showing.
I know, and that's because I didn't set where the image location was.
All right.
Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm probably going to go back through this for the video purposes and do it from the beginning again, because I was unaware that the banana picture wouldn't have come through. But I mean, the reason for that is, if you remember on here, when we were looking at this and we said media, right? And we say change upload folder. I think it's actually looking in the wrong particular bit. Let's see. See if I can just do it now. The pressure's getting to me, Harry. That's what it is, Matt.
Well, you are under intense pressure with a lot of scrutiny from all over the world, so don't worry too much about it.
I know. If only. I wish that was true. So on here we've got an images library, but then there's another area where the images are located. Let me just say go to file. If I go images on here, there they are. Look, static images. That's where it should be, Harry. So if I come onto Forestry again, we say change this to be static images. Yeah. There we go. That should work a bit better. Save that. And then if we look at our media library, look, we've actually, that looks like Dave Brown there, doesn't it? Like a side view of Dave. It's not though, is it, Dave? No. So on here, let me just go and get that banana picture. We'll redo it. Okay, so if I say replace and then click on bananas and say insert, okay, and within a few moments that should then appear. Now I had this before.
What's your file name? Sorry for banana, because I had this actual issue on thisis.website, and I realised that I had spaces, and I had to replace everything with underscores because it didn't like any gaps.
That's right. They don't like gaps. Computers don't like gaps at all, do they? In fact, they replace gaps, don't they? With they replace gaps with %20, I think, often, because they like that. I just want to see if this bit's working, see if we've got any recordings or heat maps. Let's just have a look. Oh, it still says that on the way. To even say find heat maps. Probably just all done this a bit too quick, and it's probably still catching up. Let's just see. View heat map. What a shame. Okay, let's see if we've actually got a picture of a banana yet. No. See if I switch profiles. See if it's with my cache. No. Anyway.
It's because they're in shortage.
It is, so that thanks, Danny. And so that's it really. If we just give it another minute while hopefully some of the analytics tick through. But does anybody have any questions about anything at all? I
do have one. Will the chat be available because of all of the links, or do I have to copy it now?
No, yeah, the thing is, and because we've done this a few times now, haven't we? We have, and normally what happens is we do this and we say, hey, all the links are in the chat, and then when the meeting finishes, right, everybody gets kicked out of the chat and you can't see the links anymore. So that's a bit rubbish, isn't it, really? So now what we're doing is we've done a blog which goes alongside of this, and the blog Harry's going to be on. It's actually Danny, it's ready to go, isn't it? The blog with the links.
It is.
It is. So and that's going out tomorrow, and that's going to be attached with the video as well.
Excellent, thank you.
I know we're getting better, don't you think?
I thought it was brilliant before, so it's microscopic improvements.
Oh, thanks, man. That's cool. Let's see if we've got the picture of the banana. Maybe I haven't actually saved it. I did save it though. Let's just do it again. It does work great though, and as you can see, from the other website that we did, but the workers changing one, you can do it. You can do stacks with it, and the hotjar analytics are absolutely super. Let me go to workers changing just to give that as a demo of how the feedback option actually looks and functions. So if I go to workers changing, same kind of setup using the same theme. Look, we've got this nice SVG graphic saying workers changing. I can flick it into a high contrast mode, for people's different visual preferences. And then this feedback tab here, if I give that a click, you can rate your experience, right? So on here, look, I could say, oh, I hate it. But then I could say, well, what do you not like about it? And I could say, well, it's because this image here isn't displaying. Yeah, so I can highlight that and I can say, this image doesn't display. How good's that? Okay, and then you can pop your email address in as well and ask people, for but then you can actually, get some feedback from the, give the feedback back to the person who's actually raised the issue, and then you can say send. And this is all free. This is all available on the free plan for Hotjar. So there we go. Now, just very quickly before I do go, let's just go to my Edge browser because I should have my Hotjar actually embedded in here because I just want to show you what a screen recording looks like. It's like spookily brilliant when you when you see the screen recordings of what people are actually using on your site. If I say sign in with Google, then on here, look, this is workers changing. Now, Neil, I don't know if he's on the call or not. He was on holiday in Greece last week and he viewed the website, and this is his session as the recording, and I can say replay that session, and it shows me slightly quicker than what he did, how he actually interacted with the site. Can you see that? You can see how he scrolls through the particular article.
No, I wasn't going that quickly because I'm not that quick a reader.
But it's so cool though, isn't it? That you can, and over here I can see he was on a mobile device. What the date was? He's on Android 12. So I get a stack of good information off this. You know, it's not for IT geeks anymore. It just shows people, you know, it shows you what your visitors are looking at. It's fab. There we go. Any questions before we wrap up? No. Well, hopefully people enjoyed that session and it wasn't too boring. Jack, do you want to close it?
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much. I was going to ask actually, Paul, if we could see the heat maps. Just thought it could be a good thing to do on there. 'Cause you showed me before, and they were really good to see exactly like where people are clicking on the website.
Yeah, just very, very quickly, because I don't want to go over time and
Sure.
disrupt people's days. Not that I would, I mean. So on here, look, this is kind of telling us where the popular hotspots are, a bit like, you know, what's a hotspot not? In this case, a hotspot is a good spot. So you can see this is popular, 4 clicks, you see, and then the cooler areas, 1 click. So hotspots, heat maps, really good. Thanks,
All really
Jack.
good stuff. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great session. Really showed how something really complicated can be made easy to use for all of us in there. So yeah, thank you for that. And again, thank you very much for everyone for joining. Really appreciate taking your time out of the day, and hopefully we'll see you again for the next session. As Paul said, we'll send out all this information and we'll give you a link to the blog so you can review the recording and then take a look at those links as well. As always, just drop us a message if you've got any questions, and we'll be happy to answer.
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya.
See you later.
I'm going to go for a lie down now. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hi, thank you for anybody who attended the session today, or if you're watching the video of the session from today. I just want to take this opportunity to show how we actually do the images and get the images working correctly. So let me just do that now, if I may. And I do apologize for not getting the picture of the banana actually onto the site during the session that we had. But the reason for that is because I had the path set incorrectly. So when you're in your Forestry editor, your content management system, you can come into settings and then click on media. Inside of here, the path was incorrectly set on both of these to say static /images. It really should have just said images on the public path, because that's where it's looking. So that's the answer to that. The next thing I want to do, because we've got a few minutes on this particular recording, is just change some of the other things on here. So this SVG logo, we didn't have time to change. I just want to show you how you can change that. Now, in the video demo, I showed you how to do this using an online editor. And it does work, but it's not the best. It's not as good as using a computer application, and the one I use on my Windows computer is something called Inkscape. So let's use Inkscape now to do a graphic. Now Inkscape is free. It's an easy way to actually do SVG graphics, and it does work incredibly well. So we're going to go into Inkscape and we're going to start this up. It takes a bit of time. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say we're going to start with a blank screen. We'll say we're going to use an icon. Okay, so this is it. And so what we're going to do is we are going to call this. Now, what did we actually? What were we going to call it? That's a good question. So let's just go into my downloads on here. Let's see what we had. What did we call it? Yeah, bananas are cool. So that'll be our logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into Inkscape, And we're just going to type into here, bananas are cool. Okay. Actually, let's do it in caps. Bananas are cool. Okay. And it's a bit big, as we can see. It's a bit too big for what we've got. So what we're going to do is, inside of Inkscape, we can always say resize page to selection. So what I've done is I've made that area there just be the same size as that particular text. Now what we want to do is we want to change the font on that. Now on here we've got so many different types of fonts. It's a lot better than the online version. And I know I shouldn't use it, but let's see if we can see if it has Comic Sans. I'm in a Comic Sans kind of mood. Does it have Comic Sans? It does. Let's use Comic Sans just for a laugh. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we'll have bananas are cool. And then what we'll do is we'll make that yellow like that. Now, inside of here, I think I've got some shadows and glows. So what I can do is I can say I want to do a drop shadow on that and say apply. And then I've got this nice drop shadow on my bananas are cool logo. And again, because it's gone slightly outside of the areas, I'm going to say resize it. So now we have this bananas are cool. Now that yellow looks a bit insipid, I think. So let's use a different kind of yellowy orange. Yeah, that looks okay. Maybe we could make this a bit bolder as well. There we go. That looks a lot better, I think. I've got no kind of design skill, as you can see. And so now inside of here, I'm going to say resize the page, and I'm going to say export on here. Now I'm going to say save as on here on Inkscape, and I'm going to save as a SVG graphic. I'm going to do it as a optimized graphic. We're just going to call this one bananas. Take my caps lock off. Bananas. Okay. And I'll save it to my desktop. Okay. So then we have that. We're just going to give it a little compress. And then inside of here, if I go to my desktop, I've got my bananas SVG. If I give that a double click now, we should have a decent looking logo. Now we do. Bananas are cool. So how I'm going to modify this and get it onto the website is pretty straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to come into where we were working on our GitHub repository, and inside of here, okay, if I type in, actually I'll go from the beginning on this. If I go to the actual Hugo theme novella, on side of here, if I say go to file, and then I type in logo, okay, .html, and this is the file here that we want to modify. Okay, so I'm going to click into here, and you can see this is the one that's currently set, right? So we've got, it says here its ID is, and I suppose this is a little bit, excuse me, a little bit more detailed. But what we do is we take out all the SVG element and replace it with what we've just made. So if we come into here on the desktop, I've got my bananas SVG. If I say open with Notepad, look what I've got. Okay, I've got this, it says SVG, ID, height. So it's all very, very similar to what we have within this element here. We've got these different bits within this. But what I'm going to do, just for speed, okay, I'm going to get hold of that. Okay, we'll go from the width element. So that's 192.23. The thing is, we could work this out as a ratio, but we'll not. If anybody gets stuck on this, or if you want any advice, then please just shout. So within here on the SVG element, I'm just going to come down the SVG bit, take out all this bit here until we see the end of the SVG element. There, like so. But yeah, a bit more helpful if I was actually in editor. Let's do this again. Okay, so I'm taking all that SVG bit to here, like so. And then I'm going to get the information from our bananas SVG. Just highlight where it says SVG, copy that, right, and pop that into there, like so. Okay, and then inside of GitHub, I'm going to come down here, I'm going to say commit changes. And now what we should have is we should have that as our new logo. It takes about 30 seconds, I've noticed, on these things for it to make the change. You can see now we've got our banana image as well on our Fashionable Bananas blog that we did. Here we go. There we are, look. And now we've got our logo, bananas are cool. Okay. And again, when we switch it, you see, then that stays. You can set it so that it changes color depending upon clicking this particular theme changer. And again, if anybody's got any questions on that, just let me know. I'd love to help. Okay. To change this element here as well, where it says welcome to novella, what we can do is we can change that quite easily. So what we'll do is we'll just have this line of text here. This is good. Look, the banana is a food that I hold dear to my heart. I love the way they taste and the way they go perfectly with anything I eat. So I'm going to get hold of that, okay, and I'm now going to pop that into not there, into home, and where it says hero, I'm going to replace that text there and then say save. Okay. Now the last thing just to show you as well is any of these blog posts that you've done, you can switch these and put them into draft. So if I click placeholder text, I can say make that draft, save it as a draft, and then it won't display. Okay, so I'm going to come into this one now, look, and it's actually labeled up as draft. And I can do that with the rest of them. So it's a way of just hiding some posts, or as I said, you can set date on posts as well, so they actually just display when they should display. Again, if we just save that, let's just see, make sure that, yeah, the hero should be changing soon. There we go. The banana is a food that I hold near and dear to my heart. I love that they taste and they go perfect the way with anything. So yeah, that's how you change that element as well. This bit here at the top, you can change that quite easily. If I just come into here and go to our GitHub area and I come down to config.yaml and give that a click, then that information there is just coming from here. So you can change the title on that, and then that'll change on this particular element. And again, that icon is changeable just in the same way as we did the logo. If I come into here and I type favicon, because that is the name of that N in the browser window, and what we do is we just replace this favicon icon here. That's all we do. Okay. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. And if anybody's got any other questions, please get in contact. It was great seeing you all today. You are the best. You know, we are nothing without belief. And I just thank you again for believing in me. Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.